Hello everyone, we are now live and I would like to welcome Nicole from Nicole's Bookish Nook. But before I do that, I want to tell you a little bit about Nicole and her channel. Now Nicole's an author and I've recently read one of her books, and that was Obsidian Murders, and I really enjoyed it. We're going to talk about that, but also her channel. It's a delightful channel, full of energy. And what I really like about it is that she doesn't shy away from how she feels. She speaks honestly. So whether she likes a book or doesn't like a book, that's too bad. That's the way she feels. That's how she's going to say it. And that's a very good attribute to have. And it's kind of like a breath of fresh air on Booktube, where everyone's just trying to please everyone else. So I really like that. I admire that. And I admire her enthusiasm. And I have to say, welcome, Nicole.
Thank you
Tell us
for
about
having me.
Tell us a little bit about your tell us about your background in reading, your background in Booktube as an author. Hi, Vanessa, and yeah, tell us about a little bit about all of that.
Oh, well, my mom and grandmother read to me when I was a baby, and then you just kind of go on from there. So then I started reading early on before my peers by myself. Did I comprehend most of the stuff I was reading? No, but I was still trying, and that's what counts. And then when was it? Maybe like second grade, third grade, I don't know anymore. It was assigned to assigned to write a poem, and I did. It was about unicorns, and supposedly it was so good that my teacher laminated it on behalf of myself and gave it to my grandparents, and they had that poem up for a very long time. I don't know where it is because they moved it to assisted living.
Can you remember the poem? Can you remember the poem on unicorns? I'd love to hear it.
No, I don't. I don't know where it went, but yeah, I don't know. It was just about unicorns, and of course, we write about unicorns in elementary school. It's fine, but that was the first thing with writing, and then I started. Oh, timelines is not good for me, but let's just say 12 or 13 for A Patriot's Tale, which I published in 2021. Not the same. Okay, it's not the same book. It would be very embarrassing if I did publish that. It went through like 7 or 8 drafts. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's under the Nicole Pierman, and then there's 2 other standalones under Nicole Pierman, and there's 4 chat books under Nicole Pierman. But what you read is the urban fantasy mystery under Nicole Brona. Yeah. So I separated because urban fantasy is just totally different from everything else I wrote, and I don't want to confuse people.
Yeah.
Disappoint people.
And to be honest, this book was outside of my comfort zone. I have to tell you that. Completely outside my comfort zone. But I think you knew that already when I read it. But it was delightful. It was actually delightful. It was uncomplicated, just good story, and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I actually want to tell you a story quickly. And people don't know this. I wrote a story in primary school that was that everyone raved about. And I got top marks for the story. And I read a story. It was a creative writing story, and it was about hitchhikers. No, sorry, not hitchhikers. What are those people that come to your door with a gun and try and steal your car? Yeah, or actually robbers. Okay, let's say there's some robbers, and they try to rob a house, my parents' house. And what I did with that plot, what I did with that concept, was we invited them in for a cup of tea, and we made everything all better. So, it's not this idea of violence. And that's these guys that, they just want to earn a living. So they're coming to rob your house. And so sit down and have a cup of tea. And we made everything better for them. How's that for a story?
That is breaking the mold of what you expect.
It is.
And that's a good thing. Mm-hmm.
And yeah. And that's what your story did as well. Because I mean, I actually really enjoyed your story because when you normally read about sort of fantasy suburban, what is it called, the genre? And you got
it's like
urban
Buffy
fantasy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and urban fantasy, and you get witches and things like that involved, and vampires. You normally expect a little bit of, we got a term for it, kerfuffling, or we got a term for it, kind of messing around. Like the vampires are normally kind of randy, and there's normally some sex scenes and stuff, which I don't really care for, to be honest. I don't really want that in my books. And that was great about your book, that there was none of that. And it was just a friendship, between this vampire and this wannabe reporter, and there's some murders, and these portals. I remember the portals that lead off to another world, and they gotta discover what's actually happening here. And I really enjoyed that. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, when you asked, I was like, probably nothing under Nicole Pierman. So I have to, when people ask and they're sincere about which book should I put up or buy, I'm like, let's see. Because I'm not going to give them something that they don't normally read, but mystery, and then there's murder. So I was like, well, that's kind of like her horror, but not actually. But we're just go with Obsidian Murders, because the other things, no. But
and it was very cozy. It didn't go. It was very cozy, but it didn't really go where I expected most fantasy books to go. And maybe this is a criticism, to be honest, but maybe not, because it was a simple story, and I enjoyed it, the characters and the way the thing unfolded. But maybe in certain places I wanted to know a little bit more. I wanted to know what was on the other side of that portal. That you teased what was on the other side of that portal. I really wanted to know about that fairies and all that stuff. But for what it was, I really enjoyed it. A fun book. Yeah. Can we stop for just a second and say hello to everyone? Okay, let's go through here. Okay, so we got, hi, Vanessa. Hello, Vanessa. And hello, my wife. You gotta wave to my wife. Gotta wave to my wife. And then Bad is Rad. Gotta say hello. And she's saying, hi, Nicole. You gotta wave back, Nicole. You gotta use your hand. Oh, there we go. There we go. And then she's saying, I'm so happy I was able to see everyone here. And hey, Michael. How you doing, dude?
Hello.
Hello, Michael. And Bad is going. Hello, Michael. So we're just going to go through. It's going to be quick. I only write about comic and the bubble story on high school years. Art and comic writing. Oh, it's like making a comic with little bubbles of people speaking. Yeah. Okay. Hello, Bad, my friend. Hello, Michael. Everyone's just saying hello here, just for a short time. Hi. You having fun? Yeah. I've not yet read a vampire novel. And the book, Layla, careful of the internet, please. Don't knock over the internet. Layla, no, it's best you go outside. Layla? That was close. Okay. I've not yet read a vampire novel, and the book from Chandler Morrison does not count. Have you read Chandler Morrison?
Yes, I read all of his books, and she's referring to Until the Sun.
Okay.
It's like a weird take on vampires.
How weird? What is that? Extreme horror? Because she normally.
Yeah, it's extreme horror, but if I say how it's weird, then I spoil the whole thing. So
Okay.
it's like a different take.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we got Disquiet and Dragons. Hello. Disquiet and Dragons.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. Yeah, okay, no, that's good. We need a beverage break.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me what you were most proud of for that particular novel that you wrote. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I enjoyed it. I had fun. Yeah.
Yes. I guess just in the beginning, just finishing it. It was also originally in third person, but what I had to decide was during my research for urban fantasy, because it was brand new to me, even though I watched Buffy, it's different in book form, right?
Yeah.
So like 98% of the books were in first person, and so I had to decide, am I going to change this to first person or keep it third person? And there are some things with reader expectations where it's obvious that it's like you're going to have an uphill battle if you keep it third person, because that's not what readers are expecting and therefore want. And it might not be a hit. So keep it third person, change it to first person. I changed it to first person, I decided, because I did not want to have an uphill battle of finding the right readers, all because I wanted to be stubborn. But I realized as I was changing it why it's first person, because it's fun. It's like it's you, and you're figuring out the mystery with Tessa, like you're Tessa, and you have a ghost in your closet. That's hilarious. And then
I love that ghost.
Yeah,
that ghost was very cool. And he keeps telling her to clean out the blimmin' closet. There are bugs in this closet. Clean out the damn closet.
Yeah. And so it's like, oh, it's me. I get why urban fantasy is first person, because there aren't fairies, there aren't vampires, but it's like you are living in a world of magical beings on the street type of thing. Also, it is an expectation for mystery now to have first person, so I would have messed up if I didn't change it to first, but I did. Yay me. Yeah. I decided not to be stubborn.
Yeah. No, you did a very good job. Told from her perspective. And like I said, I really enjoyed all the magical creatures. And you reminded me of the the ghost in the closet. The ghost in the closet. And he's so sweet.
Sure.
He's so sweet.
Yeah.
He just wants his face to be, and he just wants to look after her. So, if there's any intruders, he makes a noise and they go away.
Yeah.
I dig that guy. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
But then, yeah, in the second book, you get to see Drusilla more. But I think Drusilla is around a lot, considering he's not her house fairy officially yet. He's just an office fairy for now. But second book is out, and it's a party. They're in Santa Fe, figuring out why there's 14 dead fairies in the desert.
I saw the preview to that. I read kind of the thing on the back. Yeah, it looks interesting. But I know you're not gonna answer this to me, because but this could actually determine whether I'll buy your second book or not. Do they go through those sphere things? The portals.
No.
The portals are very important. Portals are important, because the one criticism I had, it's not a huge one because it was a fun book, was that yes, you're seeing it from her perspective. But I'm sure you've heard this before. Yeah. And the problem is that people want to know what's on the other side, right? Mm-hmm. So it's about whether you're going to go on the other side and show that other world, like when humans go through there. I'm not going to talk about spoilers or anything. So, but would intrigue me. That would really intrigue me if they go to the others. You don't have to answer me now. You can tell me later in an email or something.
Oh, yeah. Because she is human, she would be torn apart. So the thing with that portal, or just the different dimensions, the whole premise is based on neo-paganism and Wicca beliefs. And so if you're speaking to a neo-pagan or a Wiccan and you're talking about this book series, that's what they believe. And we humans can't go to the other dimension because we're physical beings, whereas the other beings, they can, because they're a weird type of other being. And there are times where supposedly humans can go through, but they're forced through, and it's not pretty. And so
I saw in the book that it's bloody. It's not nice. There's pieces of it.
And then there are unsavory things that witches have to do to go through there. But also, if you're like a high percentage of other being, you can go through there even if you're mixed with human or not. But I based that whole premise off of real beliefs. So yeah, the Tessa can't go over. But it's also what I grew up with, because I was neo-pagan for a very long time. We don't know what's over there, other than it's just kind of like a little bit over here, but there's no technology, there's no plastic. So it's kind of medieval, but there's magic and there's, stuff walking around that are not humans. But, yeah, I know a lot of urban fantasy, they go back and forth with portals. But those are usually magical beings, or at least half. She's not. I have in my third book 2 beings that do go over back and forth. I'll see if they are popular enough that it's like a spin-off series for both of them. But
well, your books have actually got very good ratings on Goodreads. Your book's doing very well on Goodreads. A lot of people are loving it, and I can understand why. I can see the attraction because I read it, and now And what's very interesting is the original premise of the murders, what's actually happening. And it was kind of bizarre at first. I thought, what are you doing with this? I thought, what are you doing with this idea of what's actually happening? It's this smuggling. Okay, I'm not going to go into territory, but I was thinking, whoa. But it was done in such a way that was just endearing and fun, and carried on reading. But I carried on reading for the main reason, and I think this is why you made a good point of going into first person. Because by going into first person, you get a better idea of the characters, of especially the character, the main protagonist, but also her view on. There are all sorts of lovely characters, werewolves, witches, and I really enjoyed that. It was just a fun read, and it was a quick read. It was an easy read. Perhaps I wanted it to go into other territory, like I said, about going other side of the portal, but because that's where the vampire had all the fun. But yeah, I'm giving too many spoilers here. But I really enjoyed it, and I would recommend it as a palate cleanser for horror readers. And it's just a great book. Really enjoyed it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I read other urban fantasy books, and it's kind of similar, but they do more formulaic stuff that I'm not into. I base really like a lot of it off of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I say that is like this Buffy's up here and Angel. I mean, I'm not like a huge fan of Angel. I'm Team Spike, but Spike didn't get his own TV show, so I have to say Buffy and Angel. But
I'm not a
I
Buffy
base it off
person.
of, yeah, I base a lot of the just ideas and how to go about mysteries off of Buffy, because there are a lot of side quests where you're like, this is really interesting. I have no idea how this is going to figure out. Oh, that's nice. By the end, oh, that makes sense, but I didn't see that coming. That's kind of where I come from. Also, just like, again, basing it off of neo-pagan and Wiccan beliefs.
Yeah.
If it's there, it's there. I don't need to make stuff up.
No, you don't.
Easy. It's kind of easy at this point, because it's just in my head. What I used to believe, just put it on page.
On
there.
paper. Yeah. Okay. Should we move on to some horror?
Yes, there's a lot of stuff
from
going
your,
on in the chat.
Say that again. Okay, let's find out what's going on in the chat.
Oh yeah.
Hang on. Okay, where was I? Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to skip through these. Hey, Nam.
Hello.
How you doing, Nam? Okay, sounds like an awesome book, Nicole. I'd love to read it. Well, you just use my Kindle. That's all.
Yeah.
And then everyone's saying hello to everyone. I don't know why I do this, but it's nice. It's nice to just say hello to everyone. Would you write an extreme horror novel, Nicole? If so, what would be the plot of the story?
Yeah, I'm more of a mystery writer. I would rather continue writing mysteries. I don't really write horror. I just also got into reading mystery, thriller, suspense, horror, so I don't think I'm equipped for that.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun. Do you keep a written journal around you, or do you keep all of them in a folder, all your memories kept away in a box?
Oh, there's all the stuff's in my head. I can forget what I ate for breakfast and what my husband said 5 minutes ago, which annoys him. I know it does. But all the stuff that I plan out is in my head. And if need be, there's some confusing stuff in the second book with them, all the murders. Within Scrivener, which is a writing app, they have a notes section. And so if it really gets confusing, then I'll write up some notes. But other than that, it's in my head. Thanks to my ADD, I guess.
I'll forget everything as well. Everything. How does your husband feel about you being a writer? And does he read your books or read books? Bad's got lots of questions here.
Yeah. Well, my husband is very supportive, but I don't I don't write the books that he reads. But basically, if I'm talking about it, he knows most of it. So it's like he read it, but I'm an audiobook for him.
Ah, there you go.
So, yeah, he reads mainly nonfiction and war fiction. I don't do that.
Okay, and here's the last question for Bad. Nicole, is there any finished or unfinished work you will not bring out onto this planet? Something that you'll never let anyone see? Now, you need to be honest with us. Because we're listening to you. We're listening.
Yeah.
Be honest.
No, all the stuff that I've written, I've published.
Okay.
I write pretty clean after, basically writing different versions of my first ever book. And I don't mind at all people saying, let's say, just for example, Obsidian Murders is way different than A Patriot's Tale. I would hope so, because I'm 31 now, and I started that a long time ago, and A Patriot's Tale is almost 4 years old. It's going to be different. I mean, it is different, that's historical fiction. Obsidian Murders is urban fantasy. Different. I would be a little concerned if they were like, oh my god, it's the same vibe. I'm into it. I don't think it's the same vibe. I would be concerned. That's what I would honestly say. But also, let's say A Patriot's Tale with one of my other standalones, The Two Foxes. I had my editor say for all those books, what was the time frame between these? Because you've grown a lot, and that's good. I want to have growth. And so there are the older books are still there. I know some writers will take down older books. I don't, it's there. I mean, I don't know why. It's the growth process of writing, and it's not bad. It's just a little old, but everyone gets old, so it's fine. I just let it be. And people can enjoy it or not. It's totally fine. But I'm mainly focusing on urban fantasy.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Baz says, okay, no more questions. Ha, ha, ha. Thank you so much for answering. Okay, let's get to horror. Let's get to horror. And now you're talking, actually, this is interesting because you're talking about old and young and like old horror and old books and new books. And now I'm 53, okay? I'm 53. Yeah. So you're like a spring chicken, okay? In terms of age, right? What kind of horror books do you enjoy reading? So yeah, this is giving me a little idea here. What kind of horror books do you enjoy reading? From what different kind of classic, vintage, modern horror, even novellas as opposed to these big chunkers. So what kind of books do you enjoy reading and why? And give me some examples of some of those horror books. Are we talking specifically? Well, so we're moving on from urban fantasy, so we're talking about just horror. Yeah.
Yeah. What was weird was the jump was not right into horror; it was mystery. I think because I was nervous because a lot of people, like for example, The Exorcist. You look at the reviews and they're like, "I threw up in my mouth." Okay, right. And I'm like, wait, what? Huh? Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I need to just go a little basic and then work my way up. So that's what I did. So I don't remember what the first horror book I read after I did mysteries, and like it didn't faze me. But I really enjoy like 70s horror. So I love Ira 11, and I did love reading The Exorcist.
Rosemary's Baby was awesome. Rosemary's Baby was awesome. Yeah.
I love it. And also, that's not horror. Well, you could say it's horror. I think the official for the Stepford Wives is like a feminist satirical thriller, but you could argue that it's horror. I get that. I totally get it. It can be both. Let's just go with that. Classic. Loved it. Yeah, Rosemary's Baby was like the best thing ever I read last year. I read all of Chandler Morrison's books. That's extreme splatterpunk, satirical. I definitely read different horror before getting to splatterpunk. I just don't remember. My bad. But I was recommended, I don't remember by who, in a Discord group a few years ago, Chandler Morrison's Dead Inside, because it was like, what's the most messed up book ever? And someone said that, and I was like, okay, well, let's go. And I knew it was satire, so it wasn't as bad for Dead Inside.
Yeah, I've got a very strange notification there. I was hoping I wouldn't blank screen there. Something about renewing or whatever. That was terrible. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. But I've got rid of it now, so it's okay. Okay,
Okay.
now this is a question. Have you read any Stephen King?
No, I have his earlier books on my TBR, like Cujo. Well, so my husband likes early Stephen King, so he said Cujo, Carrie, and Pet Cemetery, so they're on my TBR.
Yeah.
I've seen his other thicker books. I'm like, that's too much.
Yeah.
And I remember because I used to help run a tutoring center. This teenager brought in It, and good for him. Good for him. But he finally got to reading level, so he was lower reading level, and so then he grew confidence. We love to see it. He brings It in It, and it just like boom on the table, and we're just like, you go. That's going to be a long time, though. Yes, it is.
That's a big book.
And so the other person that I was working with, I'm like, if you need like help or you have any questions, you know where to come, but and I'm surprised that his parents let him. However, I think that they were just excited that he was going to read that big book. I think it took him like 6 months.
Yeah.
But it was the encouragement of, you can get to the end. It's really thick, but you can. And just enjoy the ride. But it took him a long time. That might take me a month or something. But I lately go for shorter horror, thriller, mystery, etc., so forth. After like a certain, like I would say after 400 pages, give or take, I'm like, are we really going down this line? Can you really stretch it out this much?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a little too much.
And you know what? To be honest with you, there are a lot of authors that can't do that, in my opinion. There's a lot of authors, if you buy a book 700, 800 pages, there's books where I'm reading after 300, 400 pages, I'm going, come on, seriously. You're writing, this is filler. This is not good.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to make an exception with Stephen King, because although a lot of people, that's the biggest criticism towards his writing, is that a lot of his bigger books is just a lot of filler and nonsense in between.
Mm-hmm.
I devour his big books. I love his big books, especially It and The Stand and all those big monsters. But that's because his characters are so good. He's so good at writing characters and about the world he writes about. It's just so intimate, like you're in that world with these characters and experiencing what they're experiencing. And so you don't want to put it down. And yes, there's a lot of description, a lot of other stuff, but I just love those big books. But to be honest with you, lately I've also been getting into shorter novels and shorter novellas, and I found them very, very good. But also as a booktuber, it's kind of intimidating when you're trying to read a certain amount of books a month, and you pick up this 1,000 page book. So I've been reading shorter, quicker books. Yeah, do you find that as well?
Yeah, I used to read longer books, but then I rather read, let's say, 5 shorter books versus 1 chunky monkey. And I'm like, okay, ooh, yay. So I read 1 Brandon Sanderson book in a month, or I read 10 different books.
Yeah.
I like the 10 different books.
Chunky monkey. I love the chunky monkey book.
Yeah. Sometimes, I mean, I have a few on my TBR shelf over there, and I'm like, okay, here we go. But none of them are horror. They're either historical fiction or fantasy that are like chunky, wonky. It's a weapon. So I do appreciate the horror. Yeah. I appreciate the horror community shortening those books. Like, yes, give me 300-page horror, because after a certain point, especially splatterpunk, you can only do gore so much without it being like, okay, we're here again.
No, I
We're doing this
possibly,
again. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't possibly read long splatterpunk books. Only splatterpunk books I read are novellas, and there's only a couple that I've really. Actually, no, I've read one novel, and there was a Black Farm with Bad. I really enjoyed that. The world building is phenomenal, but that's about 400 pages. And it was really good. It held my attention. But man, is it disturbing. Man, is it dark. It is very dark. But everything else I've read is like 200 pages or so. And some of them, even as short as they are, just no. It's just, it's got to be well written. It's got to have a story. It's got to have characters. It's just so much gore without any of the above. That if it's sick, it's just torture. It's just torture porn. I don't care for it.
Yeah.
But if it's clever and if it's got a story and if it's got characters, then that's fine.
Yeah, I'm reading The Black Farm with my book club that I'm part of, the Messed Up Book Club, and if maybe next week. Yeah, let's go with next week. And yeah, that's like 400 pages. I only read paperback, so
yeah,
we'll see how that goes. I DNF'd The Resurrectionist by Wrath James White.
So did I.
Yeah. Thank you. The other people are still reading it. Yeah.
Crap story.
I was just like, okay, when we get to a certain point here, and it's like, it's called Google. It's just Google stuff. Research, Google, type that in, because like I get to a certain point when they're trying, or they are buying guns or whatever, and I'm just like, this isn't
I didn't get to that point.
Yeah. And so I asked my
I did. You know where I gave in?
You did?
Can I tell you where I gave in? Well, if it's splatterpunk, am I giving it away if I talk about sexy?
There's like so many, I don't even know. I'm just like always serious right now.
It's where he's got the husband and the wife, and sort of takes turns with them. It's very sick. It's very sick, and you don't even like the character. You don't even like the characters. So eventually you get into it. And the writing, I'm sorry, the writing is crap. I found the writing very bad, terrible writing. And I just got to a point where I thought, oh, he's going to do that to them again. Okay. And then that's fine. Such a brilliant concept, though. Such a brilliant concept. Very disturbing. But that's one of the only ones that I've actually just put the book down. Maybe I'll pick it up again one day. I've heard some even crazier shit going on in that book. But as far as I'm concerned, I've put it down. It's torture porn, as far as I'm concerned. And look, I think The Black Farm, it's very, very hectic, but it's so well written. And the world is just so beautiful. Well, not beautiful in the sense that it's dark and interesting. Yeah. Should we look at some comments, Chris?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there's a lot of them. Oh, shit. Okay, so Bad again. Currently reading Violence of the Meek. It's savage and very effed up in so many ways, and I love it. Okay, we're not going to talk about each one, but I like books when I get pissed off at the character in the story. Okay. Bad. Lovely. Love the horror classics. Rosemary's Baby is very good. Yes, it is. Stepford Wives is one of my all-time favorites. It's from Michael.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that a good book? I've never read it.
American Narcissus. I can't pronounce that last word. It's coming out soon.
You can receive a new book of Shona Morrison. Pet Cemetery is brilliant. See how I do that? I'm just skipping through now. Rosemary is
yeah.
my favorite Stephen King. People have received. Okay, gonna stop. Shonda Morrison now. I'm jealous of him. This is just conversations that they're all having here. Then don't read The Dome by Stephen King. That one is a doorstopper. That's the only Stephen King book that I have ever DNF'd. I got to 100 pages and I thought, no, I need to give this a break. But I am going to finish it because I want to finish everything he's ever written. Okay, so but I'll get there. Booktubers. Okay. You know fair. Black Farm. Yes, my favorite. Hey, Emma.
Hello, Emma.
Hey, Emma. Is she one of yours?
Yeah.
Yeah?
She's a romance writer, but we love the support.
Yeah.
She's like,
well, Emma, you've joined for the darker stuff, Emma. Welcome to the dark side. Okay. And then, hello, Buttercup. And Peter the Book Lover. Stephen King is great. He was very talented. From his novels. Amazing. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, subscribe, Cliff. Oh, thanks for the support, Emma. When you see my horror channel, just hope you stay there. Okay, let's keep going. I like my horror short and stabby. Stabby.
Stabby.
I love fantasy chonkers though. I actually used to love fantasy chonking. You know those big books, like in those big book series. Yeah, I read a lot of them when I was younger. Okay, bad shouting your name here. This channel is an amazing channel for it. Thanks. It's amazing. Thanks, bad. Vanessa, this channel is the best. Okay. Oh no, come on now, stop now. I only read the book His Pain by James White. I actually heard things about that book. Michael recently read that book as well. He was on the chat. And I heard interesting things. The same person who did The Resurrectionist. Maybe I'll give him another try. Maybe I'll give him another go. You know? Maybe it was just one book I didn't like.
Yeah, that happens.
I was just going to say that again.
It happens sometimes. I think The Resurrectionist is his first ever book.
Is it?
I think. Which it's like, sometimes you hit it out of the park, and sometimes it's like you needed a little more critique. But that doesn't mean the other books aren't good. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe I need to just give it a chance. Maybe give him another chance. Because I've actually read a lot more extreme horror now. Sean Morrison, what's that one book? It's infamous. Dead Baby. Yeah, Dead Babies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not going to go there. But anyway, yeah, I might give that one a skip. But I think I read enough extreme stuff now to kind of be a little bit more open about it. So maybe I'll give him another try. Look, if the story's good and the characters, like I said, if the world building is good, story's good, the character's good, I can handle quite a lot of gore. I can handle a lot. Yeah. But if everything of the above is absolute crap, like in The Resurrectionist, then I'm going to put it down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I don't have a number in my head about DNFing books, but sometimes it's just like, oh, life's too short. But if I DNF after a certain point, I don't rate it. But I did rate The Resurrectionist not well.
Did you finish
it? But it's just like.
Did you finish it?
No. But I was like, halfway through the book, you can't do research on just basic stuff. I have a problem. And the whole, like, you can do absolutely horrible things with bodies. We know that. You don't have to defy science and gravity.
Excuse me. Yeah, I heard some kind of spoiler from the resurrection, something that I hadn't read yet, that kind of made me a little bit sick. To do with this cop. I don't know if you got that far, but oh, and that reminds me, there was I don't know. There's this other guy, not Ross James White. There's this other guy called he wrote a book called Header, which is apparently the most messed up book ever written. And I'm not going to tell you what a header is. I'm not going to tell you what a header is because this is the family channel. Well, it's not a family channel, but it's not a effed up channel. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to tell you what a header is, but something in this Ross James White book apparently happened to this police women that were kind of involved in the whole thing. It kind of reminded me of Header. Yeah. Okay. Let's move to some nice, gentle, classic horror novellas or classic horror.
There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess the most recent, very classic, was Carmilla, and that's a perfect novella.
I've got that on my Kindle. That's coming soon. Yeah.
Yes, that's great. I was gifted is it special edition? It's pretty enough to say it's a special edition, so let's go with it. Who knows if it's official or not? But it's very pretty. And at first I was hesitant because I don't usually like older books because of the writing, and like they don't like to use periods. I don't know why, but it's just like I need a breath. This has been 3 pages. Where's a period? Yes.
Comma, colon.
Yeah. I can't do it. I can't do it. Yeah. Dude, there is in one of my really old book copies of, was it Jane Eyre? There were 3 pages where there wasn't a period, and I about threw that book across the room. I was like, "Stop it! I can't do all books." But oh no, it's for real. I don't know if they change. I don't think they would change it.
But I love Jane Eyre.
Yeah, or which one was it? It's one of the old books. I gave it 3 stars. I mean, it's fine, right? But for Sheridan Le Fanu, he uses periods. Hey, we love to see it. Also, it's a novella. It's short. It was published newspaper, magazine. You know how they do that. And he was not, unlike Charles Dickens, trying to get as much money as you can per word. And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
He could have pushed it, but
let me guess. Have you ever read The Sound of Thunder by William Faulkner?
No.
And just on cue, I don't know if you can hear I don't know if you can hear. Our storm is coming back.
Oh.
Can you hear in the background or not really? Oh no, it's not really. It's sort of like it's ebbing and flowing a little bit, but yeah, no, it's looking like it's coming. That's a nice vibe.
It's a nice vibe if you hear it. Yeah, I can't really hear it. So you're good. It's like I'm ASMR good. In the background.
Yeah. No, but let's put it this way: when I sent you that mail, I couldn't hear myself speak. It was coming down so hard. It was, like when the rain hits so hard, it's like, wow. But now it's gone, so it's okay. This weather is very weird here, so yeah.
Oh yeah.
But you haven't heard of not The Sound of Thunder? What is it? William Faulkner. I think it's something like that. But anyway, this book is a classic book, and it's stream of consciousness for paragraphs at a time. So if you have a problem with full stops and commas and semicolons, this is stream of consciousness. This is like paragraphs where there's no punctuation at all. So you have to kind of get through all of that. Yeah, but I actually really enjoyed it because I had to read it because it was part of my English studies. And once I got through all the tough stuff, actually a wonderful book. But yeah, not for everyone.
Yeah, no. And then and I've had people say I have too much dialogue. That's fine. I can't do pages of no dialogue. So that's how I read and how I write. My books are mainly dialogue, especially the newer stuff. But
Yeah.
I think that's just what I can handle, and I can't do. Which was the book? It wasn't. It was a while ago, but I was happy that it was shorter chapters.
Yeah.
But like there was no dialogue, and it was just huge paragraphs that took up most of the page. And I'm like, what happened? I can't do this. The ADD brain is like, what's going on? I'm like, I feel that as well. Yes. I just break it up. But some books are just stream of consciousness, or they are just like describing everything as it goes. And I don't know if that's well, that's not for me. I know a lot of people like that stuff, but I like Carmela because it was short and the chapters were short, and it's a mix of dialogue and description.
Yeah.
And it has pretty language, but it's not complicated or purple prose.
Yeah.
And that's what you kind of see a lot, no matter the genre during this time. I gave Dracula 3 stars and Carmilla 5 stars. Dracula, please help me. SOS. Oh gosh, that writing was too much.
I love Dracula, but yes, it does kind of. The first half of the book is brilliant. Seeing from the diary entries as Jonathan Harker is heading off on the train to Dracula's castle, and he's looking around at the countryside, and how he looks at this castle and with Dracula himself and everything. Actually thrilling. It's wonderful, and it's tense, and it moves forward. And then I think what happens in the second half when Dracula moves back to London, or when he moves to London, things get a little bit different. So yeah, it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone, but I actually really enjoyed it. I haven't read Carmilla yet, and I've started to really enjoy more shorter, more clear, more kind of concise sort of books. So I might really love it. Might be 5 stars for me. You never know. So yeah, we'll have to see. But I love Dracula. I think it's brilliant, and for its time and just the gothic imagery and everything, I enjoy it. Yeah. You just thought it was okay. No. To be honest, I only gave it 4 stars. I didn't give it 5 stars. I gave it 4 stars. It wasn't a 5-star read for me, but I still really enjoyed the parts that I enjoyed, especially the beginning and the journey of Jonathan Harker to the castle, and the descriptions of the surrounding countryside and the culture shock that he has when he goes towards that castle. I love that. That's some of the best writing I've ever read. When he's in the castle and with the count. And yeah, it does go a little bit, but it was 4 stars. Yeah. It's not my favorite.
It gets a little too much by when he gets to London. I'm like, what happened here? I don't know. But Carmilla was first.
And the 2 girls, the way they described. And the 2 girls, the way they described, It's kind of, movie does it better.
Yeah. The I thought it's great that 2 Irish guys started the vampire craze. Because Sheridan Le Fanu and Bram Stoker are Irish.
How much Irish blood have you got in you?
It's like 60% ish. I need to ask both sides of my family for more details, but I'm just not giving I'm not giving my DNA to 23andMe and all that stuff. I'm just not. So I'll do it the hard way and get like, well, they've done a lot of work on their own, them being retired on both sides. They have the time to go through those archives. I do not.
Yeah. Well, you might be surprised with me. You might be surprised. Great grandfather's Irish. The name Murray is actually kind of Scottish, but I think it was at a history time when the Scots were in Ireland and then they were chased out. I don't know. So we got a bit of a family. We got a family crest. So yeah, I got a little bit of Irish and a little bit of Scots in me. Yeah, I'll drink to that.
Oh yes. I'll just do water.
Cheers.
That's what I got. I finished the coffee. Yeah, mainly Irish and Scottish and some other stuff, but I don't know those percentages. Also, I've had friends where they'll do 23andMe and it's not accurate, especially if they're indigenous. It'll not pop up a lot of the time. But then it's like, no, my mom's Cherokee. Like, why is this not popping up on 23andMe? So can you really trust that?
Yeah.
I've had quite a few friends where it's just not accurate. So why pay for that type of thing where, you can go into the family and talk to them about it as they're doing their archive research real time. But anyway, that's not horror. It's okay.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Should we go through some comments?
Oh, yes.
Okay, sorry, I skipped a few. I just read Camilla, enjoyed it, and the writing is beautiful. I did struggle at times with language. Nim says Camilla is a good short vampire story to start off. Camilla is actually correct me if I'm wrong, Camilla predates Dracula. Camilla is the first one. It's the first vampire story. Yeah.
And Sheridan Le Fanu worked under one of Bram Stoker's theaters. So I would be, it's a hypothetical, but it's like, how much did they chat? I don't know. We don't know. But it's like, y'all wrote about vampires and it's a gothic vampire vibe. I'm just wondering. There are also similarities with Dracula and Carmilla. So you can speculate a lot.
So Bad says here, Nicole and I had a conversation on how she rates her books. It was an interesting conversation. This Nicole? You, Nicole?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a conversation with her.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, thanks, man. Check it out, the vampire book. Sorry, I'm shooting through here. Might be free on Audible too. I purchased Greg's book recommendations on white stains, The Devil's Advocate. All he had to say, it was pornography and I purchased it. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Okay. It's 500 pages, sexy. Okay, I don't know what these people are talking about, Nicole. I'm sorry. I kind of skip sentences where there's no dialogue. So you're not the only one, Nicole. No, I love Dracula, 5 stars. Okay. Dracula is on Kindle Unlimited. Dracula. Oh, we got a new person. We got a new one coming up here. Yay. How are you doing, Gareth?
Hello.
Yeah, you made it. Sorry I arrived late. Hope you're well. It's nice that you come in towards like the end of the show, but it's cool that you're here, man. Gonna have him on my show soon enough. Hi, Gareth.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I just okay. No, Gareth has got an awesome channel. I don't know if you've seen his channel. Very cool.
Yes.
Book, songs, and other magic. Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you what. Give me 2 of your favorite horror books. Could be a novel, and our book could be, as Gareth has actually said in one of his recent videos, a short story. Could be a novel. Could be a novella. 2 of your favorites, and I'll give you 2 of mine.
Oh, I'll go with Rosemary's Baby and The Exorcist, because those were perfection for last year. I have not. Have I? No, I have not read what I consider perfect horror novel this year yet.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we'll get there. Another one that was great was Mayfly by C.J. Lead, and that was a debut.
I saw your review on that. I still have not read that. I can't believe I have not read that.
You gotta get on it. Yeah.
Gotta get on it. But have you read American Psycho? Have you read American Psycho?
Yeah, I didn't like it. 2 stars.
Yeah, that was 3 stars to me. But it was pretty much some of the most revolting stuff I've ever read on paper at the end. Do you agree?
Yeah, I prefer the movie. I don't know. I think the writing style was not it. But you put that into a script form and then you put it on film, it works better. There are some rare occasions where the movie is better than the book, but I think the movie of American Psycho is better than the book.
I enjoyed it more.
For whatever reason. Yeah.
Yeah. And look, it's not so much the gore that turned me off, even though it was very nasty at the end with the woman that he brought in and did those things too.
Yeah.
It was more the first half of the book, like with all the fashion statements. This is what I'm wearing, and this is what he's wearing, this is what she's wearing. Can I be honest with you? I really don't care.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a fashion person at all. That's the furthest from my, I really, really, really don't care about that kind of thing. So the book kind of lost me a little bit there, but it was still interesting enough for me to give it 3 stars. And you gave it 2 stars. Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah.
I will read Mayfly one day, I promise.
Yeah. Fantastical. Well, it's like a kind of sort of female version of American Psycho, but the writer does it better.
Yeah.
I'm sure that will have people.
Opinion.
Yeah, they're like, oh my God, you can't say that she does it better. I'm like, I did. So now
what did I say at the beginning? What did I say at the beginning of the video? I said you're honest. You're honest, and that's what I like about you. Yeah. Go on.
But I think it's the writing style was the problem, and then I get that it's satire, American Psycho, but that doesn't mean that it's done well.
Okay.
So, it's just like A Modest Proposal is satire, but it's done very well. So much so that people think that, or still think that Jonathan Swift was being serious, but he wasn't. Yeah. So I think that's how you get a great satire, where people are confused.
Yeah. I have to go to this comment. I'm so sorry. To interrupt you completely. How rude.
Oh, no.
But Gareth from Book, Songs, and Other Magics, I did another video earlier today. It was a haul. And one of the videos and one of the books I pulled out was Ray Bradbury. And it was a collection of short stories, not by him. It was edited by him. And, it was introduced by him. And I said something about, that's not it. There was a novel at the end that I pulled out. And people on Booktuber are calling it like, what's it, Charles Adams' book? The What's Name Family.
Adams
Wednesday, the Adams Family, the Adams Family. And he's saying that the Bradbury one is influenced by Charles Adams. They were friends. Okay.
Oh.
I did not know that. I did not know that. That's awesome. Because I said I saw on Booktube a number of people talking about that video and saying, right, it's like the Addams Family. So sorry, I had to go there because it's nice of Gareth to tell me that. Thanks, but okay. And then we got Bad's going by Bad. Sorry. And Gareth says Rosemary's Baby is on my TBR for Horror Mayhem next month. Oh yeah, Horror Mayhem is next month. Ooh!
Yay!
Yay! So Gareth, Pet Cemetery next to two favorite horror novels. Putting American stuff in like descriptions. Okay, and it's a series of stories he wrote as a tribute to, obviously, to the Addams Family, which is awesome. Oh, sorry, yeah. I completely interrupted you. That was so rude of me. I'm so sorry.
That was okay.
We were talking. I really feel bad, but I saw that comment and I was like, "Whoa, whoa! I've just done that video right now." So it was very cool of him to tell me. Yeah, but I kind of think we've done really well.
Oh yeah.
What do you think?
Yes, I think it's good. Yeah. I also need a bathroom break, so it's a great ending. I had too much coffee. Too much.
Too much. You can never have too much coffee.
No. Until it hits you, you're like, oh, okay, that happened. Sorry.
Yeah.
But no regrets.
Yeah. Well, it was an absolute pleasure having you on my show. Thank you. An honor. I loved reading your book.
Oh, thank you.
And I really enjoyed it. And yeah, it was just so much fun having you on the show. And we had a lot to talk about. It was a great show. So
yes,
I want to say before you leave, let's just say hello before you disappear. But let's say hello goodbye to everyone else. Hang on, let's just see. It says so great. We've got Nicole on here. There we go. I'll watch the beginning later. Thanks, Gareth. Okay, and then American Sato is so confused. So one at the same time. Okay, everyone. So we're going to say goodbye. We're going to say goodbye. Cheers, guys. Thanks for coming.
Bye. Thank you.
We're going to. And 3, 2, 1. End stream.